lovely ladies. Welcome back to another dating tips on Tuesdays for you amazing women who are looking to find the love of your life in a smart way without wasting so much of your time and energy. I am Raeeka, the founder and CEO of Dating with Confidence. I know that we have a lot of new members. Hi, Christine Ann. I know that we have a lot of new members in our dating tips group, so I wanted to welcome every one of you. Thank you so much for joining the group. I am so excited for supporting you. I really want to let you know that in order to get the best out of this group, it is so important that you are active in there, asking questions and bringing up topics so I can help you and we can all as a group grow together. So as you're coming on, say hi. I always love to know who's online. And I apologize because today, I don't know if it's allergies or something, but I have this kind of like tickling cough constantly going on. So we're just gonna, roll with it and go with it as it is. Let me just clean up this for a second with you ladies. Okay, so today, what are we going to talk about? Well, I thought about talking about burning out in dating, which is a topic that so often happens, for women who are out in the field dating and trying to find love. And it's very understandable because when we keep going out there doing the same things over and over and over and not getting any response, we get burnt out. It's kind of not getting the same response, not getting the response that we want, not getting the results that we want. It's so understandable that we are going to burn out and it doesn't feel right. So today I want to help you understand why that's happening and then what you can do about it, because there are tools that you can actually put into place that can help you change the path, this cycle, this kind of like rabbit hole that you've gone down, which is getting stuck dating the same wrong guys over and over and over again. And it doesn't mean that the guys are just bad guys. It means that the guys were not your match, and it makes you feel disappointed. It makes you feel like you're wasting your time. And I know you guys are all working women. Most of you, are working women. You go, you're working, you have a life, right? And then you're on top of it, you're trying to do this dating thing and trying to build your life and find the right man for the life that you want to build with, but it's really not working out and you get disappointed. And every time you get disappointed, what happens is that you get this message, this story that it is not working. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you here again. So as you're coming on, please say hi. I always love to know who you are. This is an interactive call. If you have questions, feel free to write it. But I'm going to jump right into our topic, and then you guys can interact with me as I'm going live. And just know that there's a little bit of a delay when you guys type by the time it gets to me, so have patience. I'm going to see it on this end, and then I'll be able to get to it. So let's talk about dating the wrong man. So here is what happens. Dating is a process of elimination, right? It's a process that you go out there and you meet guys and you figure out if the guys are right for you or not. But if only if it was that simple, right? Because what happens in dating and finding love, most often our emotions are attached to what's happening. And when our emotions are attached to it, then we are in a place of wanting to make something work or have an expectation. Hi, Berta. It's marking you as my top fan. Thank you. I love it. I love these Facebook algorithm stuff. So it's making you basically be this person who's not sorry, it's getting you to be attached to a result that's not necessarily in alignment, that's not necessarily happening. And then when that happens, when you go in with that expectation, what happens is that you feel deflated, you feel disappointed. Thank you, Berta. I'm your fan. So here is the thing. You got to understand, I really want you to get your pen and paper, because I'm going to give you actual tools to think about so that you can change the way you're operating in your dating. Hi, Stilly, nice to see you. So here is the thing. First and foremost, when you go out there dating, and this is something I was telling one of my clients today, because she actually is, I wanted to talk about a whole different subject, but you know, it came up and I was like, you know what, this is a really good topic to talk about. One of my beloved clients who we're working together right now, and we've been working, you know, maybe about a little less than half a year now. And she's been doing really well, but all of a sudden, she told me today that, you know what, I just don't, I feel so, I really want to find love, but I really don't feel like I have energy, and I feel deflated. And I don't know what it is. So as we went through working with her, this is what happens so often with so many smart women. You got to understand this, and if you don't, it is really, really crucial, because this is one of the blind spots that's keeping you single, but you think actually it's not. It's so tricky. You, because you are so smart, you're so educated, you're so well-read, you understand that in order to improve in life, we don't repeat our past mistakes. I get it. But in dating, things are a little bit different, because we're dealing with a human being. We're not dealing with a, the same thing. We're not dealing, meaning with the same, we're dealing with something that's variable. It's not constant. And that is, we're dealing with other human beings. And other human beings are different from each other. And so often, I see smart women go into the dating field with the same idea of their ex in their mind, taking that baggage with them, and they want to make sure that that mistake doesn't happen again. So they are working so hard at making sure that the mistake doesn't happen again, that what's happening is that they're actually not even dating the right guys anymore. And you wonder why you're attracting the wrong guys over and over and over. And this is something that our brain does that I want to explain to you. I've said it before in my lessons, but I'm going to say it again. We have this part in our brain called the reticular activating system. And what it does, it basically goes through the information that comes at us, and it kind of swifts through it and picks the information that's relevant to us. Because if we were to pick all the information that's coming to us, we'd all be going crazy, right? So what the reticular activating system does is that if you are so busy making sure that you are not dating the wrong guys, guess what that reticular, the ROS in your brain doing? Does anybody know? What does the reticular activating system do? It brings up, it puts in front of you examples of what you don't want to make sure you don't get close to it, right? It's crazy. So then what happens is that the whole time you're out there dating, or let's say you go to a party, or let's say you go to grocery shopping, or let's say you go to a cafe, right? Or you're online, you start picking up, your antenna goes up look at me, the moment you're like, this guy's not right for me, and you're like kind of like zoning on him, and you're like, danger, 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 and your mind gets occupied by what you don't want, rather than what you do want. And that's crazy making, because then you start getting all these examples of the guys that you don't want, right? And you stay with the idea that the world is filled with the guys that are not right for you. So that's one reason why you're getting burnt out. So again, write it down. And this is to simplify it. Stop focusing on what you don't want in dating and love and relationship, and focus on what you do want in love, dating, and relationships. Focus on what you want to create rather than preventing what you don't want to have. Because sometimes you're so busy preventing what you don't want to have that you're missing the opportunity and the timing on what you could have had or what is right in front of you. I will give you an example so that this makes sense to you. And this is an example about my own life. I believed very strongly that San Francisco, which is where I live, is void of any quality men. And I said for 11 years to myself that all the men in San Francisco are either gay, or the ones who are straight are so stuck up and so kind of full of themselves because they know there are not a lot of them, so they play games with women. I had this elaborate story about all the men in San Francisco, right? Well, based on the story that I had created in my mind, I had a feeling. I felt a certain way because of what I was telling myself, because what we tell ourselves creates an emotion inside us. And I thought to myself, well, I felt that, oh, well, it's dangerous. I don't feel safe dating in San Francisco. It's impossible. It's hopeless. I felt hopeless. I felt like there is no chances of finding love here. Hopelessness made me outsource. So I said, fine, I'm going to do long distance dating. And I did for 11 years. I had maybe one person in the city, one or two, and the 9 of them were outsourced. Well, because I didn't believe that I could find a guy in San Francisco, I robbed myself from the opportunity to actually looking for the guys that are my cup of tea, right? So what did I do? I ended up missing out on the guys that were in the city that were close, that I didn't have to go through the whole long distance thing because I hated it. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I'm very homey, and I missed out. And the moment I realized that that's what I'm telling myself, and I changed my my kind of like behavior on it, my thinking on it, my beliefs around it, guess what happened? I met Tim, my current life partner, and we've been together, you know, like a married couple for about 7 years. That's how much our brain plays a game. So I changed my story, right? Yeah, Berto, I outsourced. I outsourced love, boyfriends. So Berta's laughing at my word, saying I outsourced. But it's true, I did. I outsourced. I went like to, you know, outer cities to find love. And Tim was like right here in San Francisco, not even in the suburbs, not in the East Bay, not over the bridge, in the city. Isn't that crazy how for 11 years I said that story to myself, and the moment I changed that story, 6 months later, I'm in a relationship? Crazy, right? That's what I mean by the power of our thoughts, because our thoughts is what takes our attention, captures our attention. And you want to write this down for tip number 2. You are where your attention is. If your attention is on preventing to make mistakes, preventing to stay alone, preventing to be single, sorry, no, hold on, I'm not saying that right. If your attention is on preventing to be hurt, that's what I mean, and preventing, make sure you're not, preventing the mistakes that you made before, then you are going to be focusing like this with like a magnifying glass, and you're looking for every guy that is going to be like your ex so that you don't date them. Crazy. Crazy. So that's what I want you to learn. And that in itself, when you do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times, when you go on date after date after date after date and you get disappointed, no wonder you get burnt out. No wonder you don't want to do this anymore. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Put a yes in the comments so I know, or no, so that I know how I can fix it, right? Because I'm not attached to what I'm saying, or what you know, I'm here to teach you. All right. The next thing that causes the dating burnout is this idea of attaching, you know, great, awesome, thank you for letting me know. All right, so the other thing that's going on is when you attach yourself to a result when you go on dating. This is the worst thing you can do. Awesome, Shannon. This is the worst thing you guys can do. And it's kind of like literally as if you are, you know, a masochist and you want to hurt yourself. Like you go on dates literally attached to, I really hope this is going to be the guy. I really hope I'm going to be attracted to him. I really hope we're going to have chemistry. I'm so tired of going on date after date after date. This has to work out. Oh my God, if it doesn't work out, I have to do this all over again. I'm so tired of going on first dates. First dates suck. All of this and many more things that you tell yourself that really makes you go bananas. And that attachment makes you look at that date in a certain lens. Many of you are at an age that you want to have kids. And you're so worried about that, and you're so hardcore about making this guy to be the guy that you're not even looking at who the guy is. So you end up going on date after date, and then on date 4 you realize, hey, we don't actually have the same values. Hey, we are not even on the same page. Why? Because in your mind, again, it's that reticular activating system. You're doing anything you can to make this guy be the guy. But here's the thing, the guy is the guy. It's like making silver be gold, or making gold be silver, vice versa, right? Gold is always going to be gold, and silver is always going to remain silver. So you cannot change it. So what is the best thing to do? Sit back, relax, trust that you are going to find love. There are plenty of good men to go around. That if I can, and many of my clients have, and as you've seen, we had the third, actually I didn't post that yet, but we had the third success in our group this week. We had 3 people find love in this past week. That's how fast these ladies are moving now. So it's possible. If my clients are finding love, anybody can find love. You just have to learn how to do it. They're doing it, they're getting there because they're learning how to do it. So what's the moral of the story? Be aware of the stories that you attach yourself to. If you're so attached to, I'm never going to find love, so I got to really make sure that, this is what was going on with my client, which was really interesting, that yeah, Shannon, it is nice. I'm very excited for them. One of them is planning her marriage, and 2 of them are in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship now. And they've worked on this. This didn't happen overnight. They've been with me for, you know, one of them has been, both of them, all 3 of them have been with me for over a year. You know, 2 of them found it over in a year, and one of them has gone, this is like over a year that we've worked together, or a year and a half. Now she's at that point where she wants to plan her wedding. So yeah, it's amazing how it's working. So here is the thing. When you go on dates, I want you to really free yourself from making the guy be the guy. And instead, sit back, relax with your shoulders back, and enjoy getting to know this human being that's in front of you. Because trust me, if he's not the right guy for you, you are going to know. If he is not the right guy for you, I guarantee you, you are going to know. Because when you allow him to be himself, his colors, his qualities, his values show up so quickly. But, of course, there is an art to how, to figure out if a guy is the right guy or not. You have to have your non-negotiables. If you're going on dates without knowing what you want, if you have a list of 10 non-negotiables or even 6, I'm sorry, too many non-negotiables. You might just date yourself. I'm a stickler about it. 5 or less, period. Those are 5 pillars. Those are 5 fights you're not going to have. But if you're going on a date, not knowing what you want and attaching yourself to an outcome, that is going to make you feel like shit. Excuse me. Which brings me to the next thing. When you go out on dates, you must know your 5 non-negotiables, and they are value-based. They're not based on looks or, outer stuff. This is a whole deep work that I do with my clients. I'm actually how to even get to that place. You cannot know what your non-negotiables are if you don't know yourself. You must know yourself first. You must know who you are. And what do you want in life? And what do you want from this man who's going to, your man? What do you want from him? What do you want with him? It's really important that you understand, and I was telling my clients, because I just did this research, that 62% of the problems that couples have, according to the Gottman Institute, which is an institute that does research on couples and relationships and romantic relationships, 62% of our problems in a relationship is unresolvable. That should give you a good idea of what you're getting yourself into. So if you're looking for this amazing relationship where you just totally are like 2 peas in a pod, sorry, that's nothing but a Disney cartoon or Hollywood movie, because it doesn't work that way. You have 5 things to make sure the guy has that you guys 100% agree on. The rest is about communication, conversations. What is the best for the unit of our couplehood? That is so important that you understand. So when you go on dates without knowing that and just basing it on, ooh, do I have chemistry or not? Well, guess what? You get burnt out because you're just going based on being attracted to someone physically. And I'm telling you right now, that is dating like a girl, not like a grown-up. And I'm sorry if it's too blunt, but it is what you really need to hear. For those of you who are serious about finding love, and that doesn't mean you're not going to be attracted to your guy. That doesn't mean you have to find all the unattractive guys to go out with. No, it's not black and white. You get to find someone that you're both attracted to, but also who shares your values. But you're not going to pick a guy based on the chemistry, and because my clients know how to build chemistry. I give them tools. There is a tool that they have, ACEs, that they learn, a tool called ACEs, and they go out there and they learn how to build chemistry with a man. Chemistry means connection. You work on it. It doesn't magically appear. It's something that you have to spend energy and time around it. So you go after the guy not based on the initial chemistry, which is that physical, attraction, which people call chemistry, or, oh, we talked for hours about politics. Big deal. Nobody builds a lot. If you want to talk about politics, then go join the Senate or something. We're talking about the pillars of your family life. You, him, your kids, or your shared kids, or whatever the situation is you want to have. I don't want to have kids, so my family is me and Tim. Right? So you really need to be clear about what is it that you want. And are you matching with those values with this guy so that you don't burn out? So let me repeat what I said before I wrap up. You got to make sure that you are going after what you want, not what you don't want, right? So many of you are busy avoiding what you don't want that in a way you're actually attracting what you don't want, because that's all your brain sees. So I want to give you this challenge of going out there and really asking yourself, what do I want in a man? And start looking for that and not all the faults. Because guess what? You're not all perfect either. And you shouldn't be. I'm not. Because perfection is an illusion. Perfection is pure illusion. We're going for excellence. All right? Then I want you to make sure that you're really aware of your attachment to the results for that date. Are you going to date for growth when you go on a date? Are you dating for growth? Are you dating out of curiosity to learn and connect with a human? Or are you going because this date has to work and it has to be this one because I'm so sick and tired, or because he's so gorgeous, or because he's a doctor, or because he makes a lot of money, or because he has his life together? Those are not the values you want to go for. That is not going to create compatibility, I promise you. And that's why you get disappointed, because you jump into something based on fantasy or based on something that doesn't have any base, any foundation, any structure. And last but not least, I really want you to make sure you know what your non-negotiables are. And that's a process. You cannot have 12 non-negotiables. You can't even have 6 non-negotiables. It's 5 non-negotiables that you get to have, 5 fights you're not going to have, and the rest of it is going to be a conversation. You are learning from this person. You want to bring in a person into your life that brings the best out in you, that challenges you to be the best person that you can be. Not someone that you're just so damn attracted to, but who doesn't have any manners, who doesn't have the same values. He might be a great guy. You might, and if you haven't picked up my Broken Picker solution, I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you do. It's www.datingwithconfidencecoaching.com/P.P.S. B as broken, P as picker, and broken picker, B.P.S. S as solution, not C. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I want to actually bring it for you here. Let me get this for you, and I'm going to put it in the comment on the page for now, and then later I'm going to put it in for the dating tip people as well. Okay, so you've got to really understand that. It's not doing it for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay, so datingwithconfidencecoaching.com/BPS. If you've gotten it but you never read it, well, educate yourself. You can't just go out there blindly dating, just like you didn't go blindly finding a job. you actually educated yourself to find a job. It's really important. You need to educate yourself, because a lot of times this guy that comes across as this amazing guy to you is nothing but a non-committal man. The man who has the looks, the career, the attitude, the character. He's nice, he's sweet, he's great. Wouldn't it be amazing to have a relationship with him? But he doesn't want to be in a relationship. His priority is elsewhere. When you get into these relationships or these dating, traps, no wonder so many of you are burnt out. Now, there's one tricky thing, and this is what was happening with my client that I want to make sure you guys also are aware of. And that is the trap of, I want to find love, and I'm going to go find love, and I'm doing it. I'm going out dating. I have my headshots. I have my photos, my profile. I'm going out there, putting myself out there. However, I am so busy building a life that is going to be protecting me in case the relationship doesn't work, in case it didn't work out to have kids. So I'm going to make sure that I work my ass off to have enough money to buy a house and maybe even freeze my eggs. You are so busy preventing what you don't want to happen that you're not even putting your mind on dating and making it happen. And this is really important, because that means you're coming from a place of scarcity and lack. That deep down, you don't believe there's going to be a good guy out there for you. So you do what smart people do. You prevent what you don't want to happen. And then you give up on dating and love. Look at how many women are doing that. How many of us say, I don't really need to find love? Really? Really? And now there are those people who really don't. But those of you who are listening to me are not those people, because otherwise you wouldn't be on this call. You wouldn't be listening to this. You wouldn't be on my email list and wanting to get the information. So I want to strongly urge you to really ask yourself, what am I telling myself? Where is my energy leaking? Where is it that my energy is not working? And then make sure that you course correct that. All right? All right, until next week. Now, this is really important, because our call starting on in June is going to move to Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So again, our calls on Thursdays, our calls on in June, our calls in June are moving to 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. All right? If you guys are against it and you're like, oh my God, that's the worst thing in the world, then post it in the group. I will listen to you. Okay? But it has to be either on Wednesdays or Thursdays. So pick a date that works for you if Thursdays doesn't work. Otherwise, I will be back in the group next week, which is going to be the first week of June at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'll talk to you guys later. Date with a lot of awesome confidence and trust in yourself. You guys, all of you can find love. You just have to learn how to do it. So put your energy on learning rather than pushing away what you don't want and basing your dating life based on fear. All right? Because you're just going to get more fear. That's what the reticular activating system does. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.